All right, let's get a game in here against Misclick Gambit. All right, for a rapid. All right. So, those of you challenging me with the 10-0, I know it's very tempting to want to tune in while we play. I would appreciate it if you don't, though. You could always look back. Those my past broadcasts are accessible to everybody, not just subscribers. So, all right, let's go. Misclick Gambit 10-0. A viewer game, a 10-0er. All right. So these games won't be a step. I won't be anywhere closer to getting rid of the question mark with the casual. How do I want to begin? Can I do something that's different? Maybe we try B6. That's different. The battle of the question marks, actually. We don't know. We got multiple question marks there for Misclick Gambit. So not enough games in, I guess. All right. Let's start with knight here. You gotta be careful. You could easily get overwhelmed in the center. This makes sense. Put this guy right here. Like this kind of stuff. You know, putting a pawn on d5, that can be painful. Now, what am I doing if d5 is played, by the way? I don't know if I have a great answer to that one. And I think I'd want to challenge it with either e6 or c6. I'd be leaning more towards e6 so that this guy could come out and have an influence on the knight, which has control over these light squares. So if I play e6 right now, there is e4, but e4 is basically saying I am okay with giving up my dark square bishop. Here, e4, h6. If you back off, I break the pin, and then I win out on e4. So we'll see what the decision will be by white. Will they try and build a center and be okay with giving up the bishop or not? It's an or not. In this case, e3. Content with the solid setup. All right. How to approach it from here? Bishop b4, h6, d5 is another move I may want to play. Bishop e7. I don't know how big a fan I am of bishop to b4. Think I'll go with something simple. We're going to break a pin. I'm just seeing in the chat, Key Logan is Misclick Gambit. And they said that the stream is muted, of course. Okay. I'm going to take Key Logan's... I'm gonna say that being an honest guy there. Okay. Oh, here's another thing. I think I could play c5 now. I think I'm gonna go with c5. So what's the thing? Here's the thing. I have to be careful about c5 because of d5. However, if d5 is played now, I could take. And if they chop here, I get to sweep on back with the recapture. Boom, boom, boom. I get to take here. I have to challenge this duo in some way. This seems to be fine. I'm still retaining options with my d-pawn. 1 or 2, I don't know. I may want to first capture, see how white recaptures, and only then make my decision with my d-pawn. So right here, I think I may want to chop. I don't know at any point, at what point, if it's a good time right now to flick in the flight square. I'm leaning more towards capturing. Be a bit careful about my h7 pawn. I think I'll begin with that capture. Alright. And I think d5, opening myself up to a check, but I think it should be fine. Step my queen up. Tell you what, let me go with this move right now. Maybe I should have flicked in h6 before the capture. Let's go with this right now. Oh, okay. Well, this changes things a whole lot. We have another imbalance. I was expecting this. Why I went with h6 before castling was so that h4 isn't maybe a possibility. So there's a takeaway there for sure. Can be a quite aggressive move. All right, what am I waiting for? Do I really want to consider taking with the pawn? I don't think so. We're keeping the pawnies as is. So I have the 2 Bs. In some positions, I may be threatening to win the d4 pawn, but not here. The recapture hits this guy in the corner. So dark squares, dark squares, dark squares. Let's keep in mind that color complex. We have an unopposed dark square bishop, so white is maybe a little vulnerable there. d4 does not have pawn support. So this always has to be watched out for, defended by pieces, and if it moves, this guy's eyes open even wider. Also, this knight's eyes light up a bit more as well to the c5 square if this pawn ever budges. I'm thinking white will castle. I guess other moves are bishop or knight to e4, maybe d5, maybe a decision with the queen. Queen e2 here. If I were to capture, the queen recaptures. Okay, that move I didn't consider at all. Huh. Okay, you're clearly looking at the d6 square. I could play d6 to stop the knight from diving in there. Could play d5 as well. Any pawn move defends d6. Any d pawn move. I'm leaning more towards one step. Here, is that a move? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. d5 here, and there's a support point. I think I'll just go one step. Small pawn center. I still retain options. 2 different possible breaks. It remains open. I want to be careful. Maybe better stated, I want to be careful about creating ram structures. If I have this asset tipping in my favor, the bishop pair. Well, I shouldn't describe it as an asset. Let's just say I have the bishop pair. I want to be careful about creating ram structures, pawns that are immobile, butting heads. So for right now, this knight isn't coordinated with any other piece. Queen a4 is setting up a discovery. I could castle, and if queen here, trying to coordinate there, I could defend that with bishop to e7. So things are nice and cozy on the king's side. This is a healthy structure, small pawn center. Bishop's eyes remain opened. I think in this environment, the bishops are thriving. Candidate moves for white include, still looking at castles. I think it's turning out the knight on b5. If there isn't a good follow-up, if there isn't a great way to connect with this knight, it turns out to be a wasted move. You know, it'd be different if this guy was here and you could follow up, I don't know, with c5 straight away and really look to sink that knight in there, but not really seeing that. So they're setting up discovery land. Let's get out of that. That's got to be a poison pawn. They're in a pickle that I don't see them getting out of. I could be helpful in playing knight c6 because they get to take and be on my queen, but I wouldn't play knight c6. What would I play? Maybe that and then this. And then maybe I'd be threatening b5 then with the bishop hitting the knight on a7. Okay, so now this is definitely problemo. Now's the time to flush this knight away. I am threatening the knight. Do have defense of the rook. There is no pin on the a file. And I'll be taking out this pawn next. Nothing exciting happening against my king that I see. The queen is queenside committed. I don't see her shifting over quickly to the king side. I am thinking not at all about winning this pawn. I'd much rather the center pawn. I don't want to unnecessarily create a half-open file towards my king. Really only seeing this is the move. There's some other move. What else would hurt me? Well, that's the wrong phrase. I'm not seeing a move that's going to hurt me here. Is there something better than knight c3? Bishop, something that attacks my unprotected bishop. But if actually this, I could shut the door on that idea with d5. And then we're going to have two minor pieces attacked. So maybe that's what's being calculated right now. Here, maybe they're only looking at the capture, and after this, then you know, I'd be in the pin because my rook wouldn't be defended. But I could simply take here. What am I missing? Take the knight. The old in-betweener. Take with the queen. Queen could take here, too. Alright. A knight for a pawn imbalance. I take on d4. I'm looking for clean technique. Not like in that last blitz game. I blundered a rook. What exciting things is the queen going to do? I'm going to take here. Defend b6. I want the queens off. I'm on the bishop. I'm threatening a check. That's covered. I'm on the bishop. I'm threatening the queen exchange. Queenside castle threatens this. Maybe I take there. Yeah, still, I don't want material. I want, okay, they resigned. I'm just looking for some clarity. I'm looking for exchanges from here on out. My opponent resigned. Okay, good game. This was Key Logan in the chat. Mr. Misclick Gambit. Good game. Let's have a look at it. Rapid viewer game. Somebody already ran the analysis. So, yeah, well, it's a slower game, so I got to basically share everything that I wanted to. Maybe there isn't so much to go over. Yeah, oh, something here. Let's say castles, and then, yeah, this rook move. If I play h6, is h4 move? It blinked for a second. h4. Is h4 move? It's a move. I don't know how scary it would be for me. In fact, actually, let me go back. I don't know about the rook move. Let's say a queen move instead, keeping open the option to queenside castle. And now if I play h6, h4 is a move, right? If I'm taking that, that's poison. +2. Okay, that's at least one takeaway from this game. A reason to delay castling there. Yeah, this is where white really started to go astray with the knight to b4 idea. Okay. All right, good game, Key Logan.